Hi everyone, my name is Eric Schurter, and I'm the product manager for the editor group, which is part of the create stage of the DevOps lifecycle here at GitLab. And I wanted to highlight for you a few of the features that we're working on for the 14.2 milestone. I'll link this planning issue in the description for the video so you can see all the work we have planned for 14.2, but I wanted to highlight a few things in particular for you today. First, just a quick overview of what we shipped in 14.1 and in 14.0. We introduced the content editor into the wiki edit view. So when you're editing Markdown content, it's a new WYSIWYG rich text Markdown editing experience. In 14.1, we extended that beyond basic text formatting to include things like strike through, inserting horizontal rules, as well as adding tables and editing tables and inserting and uploading images into the content. So we're going to continue our momentum here in the wiki by adding the ability to attach PDF, zips, and other binary files to your wiki page. It's already something you can do with the classic editor and the current form, and so we just want to extend the content editor to support that workflow. It's a very common one, and one we should be able to build on top of the workflow we have for inserting images already. Also in the content editor, we want to bring formatting of text a little bit closer to your cursor. So sometimes on a longer page, you might scroll and the toolbar's hidden. And even if not, you're kind of moving your cursor up and down a little bit more than we would like. So formatting text can be done with keyboard shortcuts, but we don't necessarily want to rely on those. So in 14.2, we're going to display a small menu above selected text that has common formatting options for that text. And this is our first iteration, our MVC, towards more contextual UI, making its way into other content types too, like tables and images and other rich embeds. So keep an eye out for additional contextual UI as the milestones progress. And the last thing we want to do in the content editor and in the wiki would be to introduce the ability to embed snippets. So one of the common use cases in the wiki is documenting code. You might have a code block that you insert using Markdown, syntax, and it'd be great if you could reuse that content across multiple pages by creating a snippet, embedding that snippet in a wiki page, and then having it continually update and stay relevant and only have to edit it in a single place. That's what our MVC is aimed at solving, and we would be looking right now at a workflow where you provide a snippet URL or a snippet ID, and then it embeds it in the wiki page, and when the wiki page is rendered, you get the live code rendered view. So we're working on that MVC in 14.2 as well, and looking forward to bridging the gap between snippets and wiki. Now shifting gear to away from wiki, but still talking about Markdown. When you're editing Markdown in the repository viewer and the web IDE, right now there's a preview tab, so you can click over and see a rich preview of your Markdown. It's not editable like in the content editor on the wiki, but it is really helpful for validating your syntax and getting a sense of how your page is going to be formatted. I mentioned this on the 14.1 kickoff that we were working on this. It slipped into 14.2, but we'll be delivering it alongside some behind-the-scenes improvements to the source editor, which is the code editing component underneath many of our categories. And here, as you can see, you'll be able to have your source on one side and a live preview of the rendered Markdown in a panel to the right. Now, this won't be editable in this release, but it will give you a live preview as you type and render the Markdown for you. So very excited about that. I think for those that are working outside of the wiki and for those that prefer writing Markdown but seeing the preview, this is going to be a great improvement. As I mentioned, there's other stuff we have planned, some back-end work, some performance improvements, some navigation and settings work on the back end. So feel free to visit our release board, take a look at those issues, provide feedback or ask questions in those issues, and we'll be happy to help.